Yes, if I was doing this activity, if I was in your shoes, I would definitely choose number 6. It's the one with the most potential. And according to the book, the students retell the information. Now this could be used not only for stories, it could be used for content in social studies, health studies class. This is a really good one. A way to make it easier is that the teacher gives them the answer, but the answer is in pieces and they have to reconstruct it. Okay, that's an excellent idea. Now, let's look at the last two. If you are a teacher, how much time would it require you to prepare for this, to do this version? Yeah, 5 minutes probably. Okay. If you were a teacher, how much time would it require to do this one? That would require more time. That would require thinking about it, typing it up, rearranging it, copying it out, then going to the photocopy machine, which might take, I don't know how long to do. 3 days. That's pretty fast. School I used to work for is a week. Yeah. So anyway, so that's one very important thing as a teacher. You got to ask yourself how much time. And what happens is you develop a store, a collection of activities that you've done many times that you become comfortable with. And generally, they're activities like this that don't require much time to prepare. And that's a very easy way to distinguish a very new, inexperienced teacher from someone who is very skilled. That skilled teacher will have anywhere from 20 to 50 activities in their head, and they walk into the classroom and they can choose 1 or 2 appropriate ones and use them right away. Okay? So that's one thing I always encourage teachers to do, especially new teachers, is to find a few activities that you enjoy teaching, that have good educational value, like that one, that require very little preparation that you can do automatically. It doesn't matter what subject you teach. Any other groups? Show us what you have. Now we have the math teacher. I've always wanted to know what a math teacher would do with an English type of thing. Because usually they come up with something that's really good that the rest of us didn't think about. Or there's the other possibility. Go ahead.
All right. What we came up with doesn't require any preparation and time at all. Okay. What Kelly has done was to ask questions about why. But what we're going to do is ask questions about what. We're going to teach the students about indirect speeches. Okay, because all this is all direct speech. Maybe you can have a group of students forming questions. What did Jazz say to Tom? And another group of students has to answer, Jazz said to Tom that, blah, 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 blah. That's indirect speech. So you have a competition where you have students forming questions. The students are the one forming the questions. And another group of students answering the questions, but using indirect speech. And maybe after that we'll be introducing things like conjunctions as well. We have more than one sentence. How do you join the two sentences together using and, or, until, since. So this doesn't require any preparation time at all. It's just what we have. We're just using whatever we have here. Yeah, that's all.
A math teacher that knows fancy words, conjunctions. The rest of you know what indirect speech is? Things like that. What's that? Yeah, it is. It's in higher algebra. You never quite got that far. Okay, those are some great examples. Let's see here. So you could take that concept of mirrored activities, and you can apply it to any subject, art, math, social studies. The key thing is, you don't want to burn yourself out. You don't want to spend a lot of time preparing. So if you have a book like this, your lesson has 6 activities, just 1 or 2. Write them down in your book, so next year you teach it, you can add another 1 or 2. If you're lucky enough to co-teach the course with another teacher, you can divide the work between you. Okay, I would like to move on to the next topic, but before I do, is there any questions you want to ask me about teaching heterogeneous classes? No? Okay, let's move on. Now this is a very interesting topic, transformational classroom management. I'm sure most of you are scratching your head and saying, what does that mean? Does anyone have any idea what it might be about? Good, we're all on the same page, we're all the same level. Well, it's based a lot upon the work of this woman, Carol Derrick, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. She's a psychiatrist, an educational psychiatrist at Stanford University, and she's done a lot of experiments over the last 20 or so years. And it's quite interesting. All of her experiments show that things like the method that we teach with, or the books that we use, or whatever, is really not the #1 factor in education success. All of her studies have shown is that self-esteem and having a positive attitude and positive study habits, these are the things that help students get into university more so than anything else. So transformational classroom management, TCM, focuses on this. It's a way to manage the class to help students build self-esteem, a positive attitude. It also saves the teacher a lot of hardships and makes the teacher's life a lot easier. But I'll be honest with you, there's a problem with it. Not all of the ideas from this fit a Thai context very well. Okay? There's some things in it that are very interesting that you can say, yeah, I can do that. And there's other things that are probably not going to work. So I'll show you the ideas behind it, and then you can decide for yourself what you think is going to work and what is not going to work. The way to do this is I would like you to think about what makes a good classroom environment. This is a very interesting question. When you ask this to teachers, teachers from different countries have different answers. It's a very interesting thing. So I'd like you to brainstorm. By the way, BS stands for brainstorm. Brainstorm what would be the answer to this question. What do you think makes a good classroom environment? Come up with 4 or 5 phrases or words, and then I'm going to ask you for your opinion, okay? Work with the people next to you. Think about what makes a successful classroom environment. Yes?
The most thing that I want to say is that teacher personality, because when I studied in the US, I remember that I have a